Welcome back to the official Hammer Time podcast. As always, I'm your host, Cade. Alongside me is our regular duo, Jake, Mr. Jake, as always. And we are back with part one of two on our Big Ten previews. Finished up Big 12 earlier this week, finished up ACC the week prior, finished the Group 5 the week prior. And yeah, we're almost done, kind of. Part one, Big Ten today. Looking to bring part two to you guys shortly, and then also SEC next week at some point as well. Still a big surprise planned. Stay tuned. Yeah, I don't like whispering in my mic. It's kind of weird. Because I can't hear myself, so I wonder.
No, maybe do keep the intro then.
Okay. It kind of fits better now that we kept that intro.
It does.
For legal reasons, we're going to refrain from repeating the intro the first time.
Whoops.
Unless.
No.
DM me if you want the full intro.
Oh, whoa.
Never mind. But today, we've got top 1, 2, 3, 4, and then bottom 3, whatever you want to call
it.
Yeah. Plus Notre Dame. We put Notre Dame into here
bottom
as well.
4. They played in a tough conference like the Big Ten.
How do I remove? Yeah, I was going to say, how do I remove the stuff behind me before we talk about this? Ignore the Signetti towel. It's not there. Right next to the.
You're a Signetti hater too.
This is bad. I went to a game one time and he changed my life. Okay. Great atmosphere though. I'll give him that. If you have enjoyed these previews, please be sure to leave us a review, like the videos, comment, subscribe, follow us at Spotify, Apple, YouTube, socials on X, wherever you listen, or on TikTok even. I know we'll try to get better at posting clips and stuff like that during the season, not so much preseason. But yeah, like I said, there's not a whole lot there. Of course, you guys know the drill if you've already pretty much been here the last 4 or 5 episodes now. So yeah, we'll get straight into this one today, and we'll start out strong and start out spicy with the defending champs. That's kind of so. That's so.
They're not defending. They're not defending anything.
That's so weird to say. Oh, it's so weird. Curt Signetti, year 3 as a Hoosier, and this team is pretty much reloaded yet again. Sitting 5th, SP+. Big Ten Media Day was today. I watched a lot of these coaches' interviews. They seemed, they all pretty much, I watched some of the interviews, but not like all of them. But I don't know. I liked what I heard from most of them. Some of them was pretty funny. Whatever Signetti said at the end of his was pretty good. If you know, you know. But this team is like I there's not really much to say. What everybody else already knows. They are a legitimate definition of a rebuild and an absolute miracle over the last 2 years, 3 years, whatever you want to call it. You don't hear about this stuff too often of like what this coach has done with this program. And it's incredible. Like it's incredible for the sport. It's incredible for the entire country, really, for the league, whatever you want to call it. I have no words. I like this team better than last year's in terms of a transfer class. I'll start off by saying that, which is a very scary thought because first of all, I like the offensive additions, first of all. And we'll go down the line here real quick. So obviously, they bring Josh Hoover from TCU. My favorite passer from last year, way better than Sawyer Robertson. Absolutely clears him. Horrible comparison. Please ignore the interceptions.
The league in interceptions.
Let's see who else we got. Turbo Richard. I like him a lot better than Hemby personally. Nick Marsh out of Michigan State as well, who's wide receiver one over there, and bring a couple of guys over from the G6. Let's see, bringing in a couple of all conference linemen. It looks like one from Wisconsin, and then a ton of reloading done on the D line, which is even more scary. Yeah, there's a lot here. Charlie Becker does return, it looks like, as well. It feels like everybody knows who this guy is now. If you watch the playoff, like it feels like kind of before that, a lot of people really didn't. But he had like one of the most insane runs over the last like 4 weeks of the season. It was just insane. But this is like one of the more underrated wide receiver rooms in the country with a really good quarterback. The only problem with it that I have is obviously you have so many really big departures. It's kind of one of those, what do you do with what you got now? But I'm not really that worried because even if they don't go back to back in the national championship, they're still a top 10 team, in my opinion, this year. Maybe a top 5 team, in my opinion, probably. I mean, there's not really a whole lot to doubt about this team because of who they've reloaded with. I mean, they have plenty of talent on the offensive side. Defensive side stays just about the same, outside of the other key departures as far as that goes. It's hard for me to call them a top 2 team in the conference compared to the other 2 rosters that we'll talk about next. But I think it's definitely a playoff lock and have a shot at making another run.
All right. Yeah, everything, like, it's so interesting that they are now bringing it, like, so Signetti gets there and he's bringing in JMU guys and, you know, low level transfers and just older guys that can build a team quickly and be relevant. You win a natty and you go from getting 3 stars in the portal to, hey, let's just go get like the number 3 receiver in the portal and just let's sign him. Let's sign a 5-star wide receiver, like top 3 in the country for next year. They're not going away, and I think a lot of people doubted them last year after the 10-2, saying the schedule was weak. You know, they got slightly embarrassed by Notre Dame, and then they go and have 4 wins over 35 points and don't lose the entire season, which is something that nobody thought could happen in the NIL era. So he's doing things that we literally haven't seen, that we could have never expected from a place like Indiana. And if you're doubting Indiana to make the playoff or be in the running to win the Big Ten, I think you're just an idiot at this point.
You're way off. Yeah.
they're inevitable now. They are going to be in contention for the Big Ten every year as long as Signetti is there. Yeah, you just named, or you didn't name the guys that they lost, but you talk about Elijah Surratt, Omar Cooper, Fernando Mendoza, Hemby, Black, D'Angelo Pons, Aiden Fisher. All those guys, all drafted, all going to be very good NFL players for the next decade. And he just reloads. He gets Josh Hoover from TCU, who is number 1 in the FBS in passing yards and passing touchdowns in his career so far. He has over 9,500 yards and 71 touchdowns. Okay, we lose 2 of our running backs. Let's have a third and then bring in Turbo Richard from Boston College. Let's add Nick Marsh and pair him with Charlie Becker, who was one of the craziest playoff stories that we've seen in, I don't know, 5-6 years or something like that.
Long time.
Yeah. The offensive line should be in the running for the Joe Moore Award, like very clearly. They bring back 4 of the 5. They only lose Pat Coogan, so you're going to have to find someone to play center. But I don't think this team is going anywhere, and I haven't even gotten a defense. I think they're going to be better defensively than they were last year, and they were top 2.
Yeah, I was going to say they're going to have another top 5 unit for sure.
I think they're number 1. I think their defense.
It's not a bad take.
I think their defense is better than Oregon's, truly. And you talked about you know, their roster not stacking up potentially to Ohio State and Oregon. And I don't think it matters because I think Cignetti is such a better coach than the two on the other sideline that the rosters. I mean, he just beat them both.
I would agree there. Yeah.
He went 3-0 against them with a worse roster. So you look at their schedule this year, the non-conference is a joke. You have an interesting in-conference schedule. You start you start with Northwestern, then you go back-to-back road trips, Rutgers, Nebraska, before you play Ohio State at home and then at Michigan. Then Minnesota at home, you get your bye. USC, travel West Coast to Washington, and then the Purdue rivalry game. I think this is an 11-1 team. I really do. Maybe I'm not going to tell you which game they drop because I don't know. You could tell me 4 different games and I could see it, but if they go 16-0 again, I'm just going to shrug and just like the folk hero and Kurt Cignetti will just continue to build and it'll be crazy. But yeah, I think doubting him, I think they have to be ranked number 1 to start the year, right?
I would hope so. It'd be kind of a blasphemy not to.
Yeah,
you're gonna put a chip on that shoulder that early. Yeah, good luck.
And that'll be the one interesting thing with this roster now is okay. You guys just won a natty. What does that look like? What does the locker room look like now? And I mean,
right,
Cignetti's a freak, so who knows what he's saying in there. But yeah, I think offensively it may take a second just with you lose your 2 best running backs, your 2 receivers, your quarterback. It may take a little time, but you have the time. I mean, North Texas, Howard, Western Kentucky, Northwestern to start the year. Got plenty of time to rev it up.
I really love the team. I love what they have. I love what they reloaded with. I think they're going to be a force again. Very clear. We'll go to second in the conference, and that is the Buckeyes. This team sits first in SP Plus overall. Ryan Day going into his 8th year. Good Lord, it feels like it's
Can you believe that?
Been forever. Holy crap. We're talking 8th year and it's 2018. Good God.
Yeah.
And he took over Urban Meyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So Urban's been out of for 8 years now. Ew. Dear
No.
Lord.
Well, yeah, college football.
Yeah.
He was with Lawrence and Jacksonville.
Yeah. Well, last year, this team played pretty much a very similar schedule to what they're playing this year. Texas at home, which was like the very super slow, sluggish start that everybody kind of expected. Between the first Arch and Julian Sayin battle there. Still can't believe it was like that slow, to be honest with you. Actually, I can believe it because they were both really good defenses at the time. And that was a hard game to start out with.
Also,
but
we know who Ohio State's OC is.
Yeah.
Or was.
What? Outside of that game, though, chalk. Good game. Handshakes, basically. There was a lot of I don't want to call it what it is, but a lot of like side by side kind of walking, holding hands with Julian Sayin until he kind of felt comfortable. And I felt like that took a lot longer than expected, to be honest with you. But it was the way that they kind of used Donaldson and Jackson together, which established a very good run game, enough to open up the passing game for guys like JJ, Carnell Tate, who is now in the NFL. But now you take out Carnell Tate, enter Brennan Ennis to kind of take a step up, enter Chris Henry Jr., who is an incoming freshman, who is supposed to be one of the most talented wide receiver recruits that we've seen in an X amount of time. The thing with this team is that you look at the postseason, complete polar opposite from weeks 2 to weeks 13, week 12, whatever you want to call it there. Complete difference. You are looking at a team that, where do they I don't even know the score. I don't have the scores in front of me of the Big Ten title game and Miami game in general, whatever.
13,
But
13-10 and 24-14.
they were not aggressive at all. They were super conservative. They played super soft. They played very backpedaling ish, whatever you want to call it. And there was a lot of coaching decisions that led to that. That upset a ton of people, clearly. Yeah, basically, he just had every fan that I watched the games with scratching their heads pretty much for the last like 2.5, 3 hours of those games. A lot of it was just really unacceptable with what they had. But here's the thing. Now that you got year one under your belt, year two has come, and this kid has experience. Bo Jackson has experience, and he is probably going to have one of the biggest breakout seasons that we have ever seen behind this offensive line, who is incredible again. Probably one of the most experienced offensive lines in the country, if I may add. And of course, you have probably the best wide receiver in the country again, coming back. And
probably.
Okay, whatever. You know what I mean. Well, I was gonna say someone stupid. I couldn't think of anybody. God dang it. And that's just on the offensive side, though. Like, we haven't even gotten to the defensive side of things. Obviously, we see the pipeline of the NFL, what these guys just lost with Arvell Reese, with Sonny Styles, with there's so many, but I mean, you still have Jermaine Matthews, still have Jalen McClain, you have Zion Grady, you have Devin Sanchez. There's literally so many guys, and even you bring in some. Earl Little Jr. is coming from Florida State, who is probably one of my favorite defensive back additions on this team. You don't have a lot. 9 defenders who started 14 games. Only 2 of those people return. There's few teams that like kind of have that level of continuity with the injury side of things. But 3 of these defenders went in the first 11 picks, and another 2 of them went into the second round. They were a very talented team last year, and it feels like it's just an ongoing thing year after year with this team. But I feel like they're better. Like, again, the schedule, though, again, like I said, it's similar, but this time it is a little bit tougher. You go to Texas this time very early in the season. It's week 2. You do also go to Indiana. You do also go to USC. You do also go to Iowa. Like, I know we're going to get into the schedule there again, but I don't think nothing should change from last year, other than the fact that Arthur Smith, I think, is going to be a little bit more aggressive, and Matt Patricia kind of knows his unit now after actually recruiting them in, and team's going to be very dangerous again. And like, we know the regular season Buckeyes. We know, like, I'm not shocked in the slightest if the record is what it is, like 11-1, 12-0. I don't care. Do something in a Big Ten title game and actually, like, please, like, honestly. And then in the semis or quarterfinals, whatever, I just want to see more, because like, it felt like they were 2 complete opposite teams in terms of a coaching strategic plan. It was completely different from regular season to postseason. It's like they tried too hard. They got too cute. Something was off, and I don't know what it was, but it just was not it. And it was very clear that was. They have just way too talented of a roster to not dominate these teams by at least a possession. All of them.
Schedule-wise, it's tough. You kind of got into it, but open up with Ball State, travel to Austin, go play Texas, Kent State after that. Then you got Illinois at home, at Iowa, Maryland, at Indiana. Get a bye week before you travel to Southern California to go play USC. Then travel home, play Oregon, Northwestern, at Nebraska, and then the game. It's hard. You can't having an argument about Ohio State, and I've seen plenty of the Ohio State fan base recently after some commits may or may not have gone not their way, but
you have a great relationship with those people, though.
yes. they are almost or maybe even on the level of Tennessee fans. And they have a better reason to be that crazy. When you recruit top 5 nationally every year and you don't play teams that are recruiting top 5 nationally every year, statistics say you should win that game or you should win those games. And like they won the Natty 2 years ago, but still the season felt so weird because they lost 2 regular season games, they didn't make the Big 10 title, but then they go on the run. And you cannot be that bad offensively when you have the best wide receiver in college football. You have a quarterback who personally I think was undeserved in going to the Heisman ceremony, but went to the Heisman ceremony.
Yeah, I'm still kind of dumbfounded about that one too. But
you have a good running back. You have a very good offensive line. What is the problem? And I think we saw it from 24 to 25 was the offensive coordinator. And happy for Brian Hartline and what he's going to go build at USF after Golish left. But I think he was the problem. And I don't know what exactly he was attempting to do. It didn't work to what they thought it would because obviously, I mean, they were lifeless against Miami and Indiana. And do I think Arthur Smith is the answer? Hell no, not at all. But I'll eat my words on that. I've watched Arthur Smith up close and personal. You have to be able to run the ball extremely well for him to work. The only time he's ever been good in the NFL was when he had, one of the generational running backs ever in Derrick Henry. So they don't have that as much as I like Bo Jackson, as much as we like Bo Jackson. It'll be interesting because you have to have some receivers step up with Tate leaving, whether it's Brandon Ennis, Chris Henry, whether it's a tight end. And I think you're going to have, I don't know what unleashing Saiyan is, but it has to happen this year. The dink and dunk stuff isn't going to work anymore, especially in the red zone if you're not going to be able to run the ball as well. So either run the ball better or Saiyan needs to be more explosive in the passing game, I would say. Which, I mean, they were like top 30 explosive passing rate. We got to be higher than that.
I don't. One of the more interesting things, just knowing what Arthur Smith does and who he is, I'm very concerned on like Bo Jackson had 1,000 yards last season. Honestly, it didn't really feel like it, but he did. Like he's probably going to do that again this year if I had to probably bet on it.
Yeah, but it was so inefficient.
It was like you said, it just looked so weird. It didn't look like it was 1,000 at all. Like one, I don't know.
They weren't even top 70 in yards per game rushing.
No,
that's ridiculous. And
Brian,
it's not
they
like
said something. Sorry,
and it's not like the passing game was top 10. It was top 23.
I'm just skeptical of what this is going to look like, and I don't know if they're just saying stuff just to say stuff. But he mentioned something the other day about having a mobile quarterback, which
I saw that.
What are we even talking about here? And I didn't see him once last year. He was probably the most pocket standing. Like I feel like he did not move. He was a statue back there until something happened.
He's not.
I don't understand where that statement came from or what he's seeing or what he's trying to make Julian say and what he's not. The kid's talented. I want him to do very well, but like you have to stop handcuffing him for the love of God. Like, and we said this like in week 3 last year because it was like legitimately concerning, and you could tell. And sure enough, in the postseason, it obviously showed.
Yeah, I don't care how good a defense is. You should not score 10, 14, or 14 in your three biggest games of the year.
There's not yeah.
You are Ohio State. Indiana put up 50 in their biggest games. I don't get it.
I really don't. Part of it is
hopefully
laughable, but
hopefully Day maybe has more control this year potentially cuz I don't know. Like their defense is going to be elite.
oh yeah, like I said, I'm not concerned in the slightest. Like they're going to be what were they last year? Were they top
They were
4,
one.
3? Were they one? I thought
Yeah.
Indiana was one. Okay.
No, they were one.
I mean, yeah, a top 3, top 5 unit again is not even remotely out of the question, of course. I guess, I mean, honestly, the biggest question I have isn't necessarily going to be for saying, like, obviously it's staff involving that for me, but one, underrated departure is Max Clare, because you didn't lose only him, but you lost the tight end too. So your tight end transfers are both like in their first year, and they're not necessarily, well, he was an all conference. He's coming from Northwestern, and they also got a guy from the MAC who is all conference MAC. But again, knowing Arthur Smith, old fashioned offense guy, loves his tight ends.
Loves a tight end sweep at the goal line, baby.
I mean, like, I'm very, I don't want to say I'm concerned because I don't think I am. I think it honestly kind of might throw some people off, to be honest with you.
I think it's a question, not a concern.
I would say that. That's a better way to describe it. I just think like everybody's obviously expecting the breakout from Chris Henry, from JJ. Like, to me, it's a Bo Jackson tight end year. Like, this is going to be the most old fashioned looking Ohio State offense that I've seen, but I think it's going to be productive if they do it right. They have to do it right. And it has to be at the good time. I don't want them to see getting way too cute at the wrong time in these big games, especially because we see that all too well, or all too familiar too. So I don't know. It's a staff thing. Like I said, this is one of, like I said about the Indiana thing, it's one of the best rosters. Actually, it's complete opposite of Indiana, actually. One of the better rosters in the conference, probably the best roster in the conference. The staff, though, like that's why I'm putting certain teams above them. It's just that you said it again. Like obviously, I would take Cincinnati over Day, the rest of that staff. 7 out of 7 days, 365. But it's, again, like how much are you going to hold them back? Let's see. You good to move on? Cool.
I think I got my piece.
I wish Dylan was here. Dylan would have probably agree.
Yeah, I think he would have.
Dylan would absolutely agree. We'll go to third team in the conference, and that is the Ducks out of Oregon and Eugene. Dan Lanning, 5 years, second in SP Plus overall. Let's see. So this is a team that a lot of people are very high on. Depends on your definition of high, but I like this team a lot. But you have some pretty much similar issues, probably similar issues as Ohio State does, to be honest with you. Really good amount of turnover, but also probably one of the best returning production numbers in the country. You could argue one of the more complete teams in the country. I think it's absolutely not a question. Kind of similar in returning production numbers to I don't know. I'm thinking. I was honestly going to say Notre Dame because of how much that they had returning that 1 year that they went to the national championship, but because they're all up there. We already know this team, obviously. Dante Moore decided to come back instead of going into the draft.
Damn Jets.
You have skill position players out the wazoo that are like just making pretty much any sort of appearance that they can. We might see 20 plus different people on this offensive side of the ball at some point this year. You have multiple running backs who very much so have well over 1,000 yards between both of them. Corian Moore is back. Jeremiah McClellan is back. Evan Stewart's back. Simeon Pierce is transferring in from Colorado. And then you have another few, looks like blue chip. Yeah, just a couple of new recruits that are coming in as well. Messiah Hampton's in here. I forgot he was in this year. Noted. Didn't know that. Defense is returning pretty much everybody. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's the same. It's pretty much the same exact roster. You might have one of the more underrated, probably one of the better secondaries in the country. I think they're definitely up there. And the better like backfields. I mean, you bring in Coy Parrish from Minnesota, who we were talking about earlier, one of my favorite defensive backs this year. Definitely like a Cooper DeJean, Reed Blankenship kind of guy. I don't know. He's just a white. He's just a white defensive back. That's really good. Yeah, sure. But I love him. And a good punt returner. Also like Cooper.
Punt returner.
Turnovers are going to be obviously on the staff. So you got Will Stein, who is out, taking over Kentucky. Dub. Tosh Lupoy out of Cal. Goes to Cal. But with all, of course, you have a really good roster. Of course, your staff kind of goes out of the way. But it looks like pretty much everybody else just got promoted. They pretty much moved everybody up a spot with Chris Hampton and Drew Meringer. And honestly, I mean, I think the only thing that lost the most is the linemen. They lost 3 people. But I mean, most of them are still there. I mean, there's not really anything here. There's really not. However, if you want to look at like the last like playoff games and title games, whatever, that's pretty much the reason that they've lost those games. That's not an argument, definitely, but I don't know. Like this team is just like stuck between like 2 and 3 for me personally. Still, I said I like Dante Moore a lot, but I don't like him better than Julian. I don't really like him that much better than Josh Hoover, to be honest with you. Especially behind an offensive line, which they are an experienced offensive line. I will give them that, but it's still not like experience doesn't mean good. They just have years. I think it's going to be a really good team again. But again, it's one of those regular season slates where we expect to see whatever. We're going to judge this team in week 10 at Ohio State. We're probably going to be wrong. And then they're going to do something in the postseason, maybe. I don't know. It's one of the biggest question marks of the year. And I mean, a lot of people are high on them for the right reasons. But
a lot of natty picks.
Like a lot. Not me, though.
Not me, though. No, you can't. I think a lot of people try and just be right, and they'll just throw a dart at a board, and you just hope it sticks. And I'm talking about people who pick natties, not talking about Oregon specifically. But I think people do that, and we get this, so it's so funny because I like Dan Lanning, and I like what he's done with Oregon. But is Oregon not the same program they were 10 years ago? When they made a natty appearance with Marcus Mariota?
They're just fun to watch.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're fun to watch. But people talk about people talk about Lanning like he brought Oregon from the dead. Which I guess technically you could say that they were going on a downward projection, I guess, post Chip Kelly, and after that. But like, I feel like we're just in the same place. Of yeah, Oregon's really good. They're going to compete for a national championship, a playoff appearance, the Big Ten, Pac-12 at that point, and like they're going to lose to a team that's just as good as them, or maybe slightly worse, or maybe slightly better, and that's just how it's going to go. Like Lanning's done nothing for me to prove to me that he can beat a team on his level or better because he has not beaten. He's beaten Ohio State once.
On a fluke.
I mean, he just Will Howard just slid too late. Was really
That's what I mean. That's
yeah.
if he slides at a good time, that's game over, and you still don't have a win against anybody.
Which I don't think you can judge. You can't do that in college football.
He was gonna make that kick. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we could do that about any game, anytime. But like, so they beat Ohio State at home that year, and then you get mollywopped off a bye in the Rose Bowl by Ohio State. And then last year, both your losses are to Indiana. That's so cool that you lost to the team that won the national championship. Guess what? It doesn't matter. You lost to them at home. And then got lost by 40. Yeah, they're really good. They're going to make the playoff. Dante Moore. The one question I really have is like the wide receiver room. Like talent-wise, it's really good. They've struggled with health their entire careers at Oregon and haven't really produced a ton, like the guys that are still there. So
like underproduced.
Yes. And it's hard when you're not on the field. Like sure. Evan Stewart and DeCorey Moore barely played last year. I hope Evan Stewart's healthy because he was awesome at A&M. His freshman year? So I hope he's healthy. Offensive line, gonna be great. Defensive line, top 3 in the country, top 5 in the country. Like the team is really good, but until you do something with that, they're third to me in the Big Ten. I wouldn't put them above Indiana or Ohio State right now.
No.
And I don't. Yeah, I know there's only one winner in college football, but like, we're gonna get to a point if Lanning keeps going on this trajectory where Lanning is James Franklin, and it's gonna be. I'm not saying right now, and he's young. Like first head coaching job. I mean, he's in his mid to late 30s. Like, I do think he is a very good coach and will continue to get better. And he obviously is learning from his mistakes. But I would like to see something soon, and hopefully it's this year. But I won't pick it. And traveling to Ohio State, and you travel to Ohio State and then play Michigan the next week. That's interesting.
It's a big hangover, dude.
What's also interesting is that Indiana does the same thing. They play Ohio State and then play Michigan. Weird. But yeah, this is a 10-2, 11-1 team. They should be in content. That Ohio State game will probably decide who makes the Big Ten title.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I did take their over wins because it was 10.5. I mean, I have them at 11-1. One, because it was even money. Because I mean, you're basically banking on them being. I mean, obviously they're going to be favored in every other game, but I mean, what other game are they supposed to maybe lose outside of Ohio State? Like, there's nobody here that scares me, honestly.
At USC,
not really. There ain't nobody there at that game. I could care less.
I know, but at Illinois will be interesting.
To see Lanning travel, Illinois is going to be bad this year, though. If it was last year, I'd be a little bit more concerned.
I don't know if they'll be that bad. I mean, they're worse than they were last year.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot worse.
I mean, the Washington game, because Lanning, before DeBoer left, refused to beat Washington. So, he lost to him.
At home in Eugene, that would be bad.
I think 11-1 is the road trips aren't bad.
That's why I said 11-1. I think is fine. And again, I think a lot of people are just going to ultimately assume the 11-1 like regular season ultimately means that this team is great. And for those people, I'll admit I do have, like I said, I think I gave myself a decent hedge opportunity in case for whatever reason that this win total is in jeopardy, for one. But for two, for everybody that's picking this team right now to win the Natty at like 8-1 or 9-1, whatever it is, and giving the reason that, oh, this team won't be this price in November, nobody's going to be that price in November. Like the list is going to shrink by like a ton. I mean, there's going to be maybe they're probably going to be cut in half. Ohio State's price is going to be cut in half times like 2, especially if they win that November 7th game, especially, which I have them winning, of course. But duh. Don't call it like a value pick, and like, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's kind of just like a donation at that point. Like, that's main reason I have one national championship pick, and we'll get into that next week. But majority of that kind of pick is going to be based like when the bracket gets released for one, because again, you have no idea who this team is going to get a draw of, if they're hosting, if they're getting a bye. They could probably, if they make the playoff and they lose that Ohio State game, they're hosting a playoff game. Who are they playing next? Miami, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Indiana, Georgia. They are losing every single one of those games if they play those next. It makes no sense. It's a bad draw, aka bad bet.
Betting national title picks before you know the bracket
is so
stupid.
stupid. It's so stupid. The only reason I did it on the one is because the price was god awful, for one, I'll add. Honestly, now that we're this far, I just want to say it, but I can't.
You know what we did last year? Waited till the bracket came out and picked both right sides. I literally had Indiana, Miami. Stupid. Yeah, picking natties in July and August, you're throwing a dart at a dartboard and just hoping for no reason.
Yeah, slight off topic rant, sorry, but it was needed. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, anyways, there's your Oregon Duck preview. Unfortunately now I have to talk about Notre Dame. This is not fun. Actually, this is really fun.
Let me talk about Notre Dame.
Oh, not yet. After me, please. I don't want to.
No, let me go first. Then
God
I leave the floor.
You can. It's fine.
I leave the floor for you. All right, Notre Dame. The Fighting Irish. Back. Arguably one of the top teams in the country. You know, they return. They are 19th in the country on offense in returning production. They are second in returning production on defense. They have a lot of guys back. And we're in July, August at this point. I'm not going to talk about last year's, about everything that went on and all that stuff. I think that Notre Dame did not deserve to be in the playoff because you lost your 2 games and because Miami should have been in. I think that showed
louder
in a way. And I think this year it's the same thing. If you go and you lose to BYU and Miami, you should not be in the playoff.
Bye-bye. Yeah.
I don't think a 10-2 Notre Dame team should be in the playoff with the schedule that they have. Now, let's talk about who Notre Dame is going to be this year. Obviously, they return the best quarterback in the country.
Whoa. From you? Hold on.
Top 3?
I'm blushing.
Top 3. CJ Carr. CJ Carr was.
I would say yes. Top 3, yes. I would say top 3.
CJ Carr was awesome. He was awesome from the get-go, and I think that surprised Denbrock and Freeman. And I think that played a major role in the Miami game. And then they let him loose in the A&M game, and just the defense didn't turn out the way that it turned out for the A&M game. You look at, they're returning Anais Williams is going to be the new lead back, averaged 7.6 yards per carry last year and in his career. Offensive line is going to be elite, like always, in the Joe Moore Award discussion. The wide receiver room, the question every year for Notre Dame: how good can it be? You know, Eli Raridan's gone at tight end, which we know Notre Dame loves their tight ends. Cooper Flanagan and James Flanagan, not brothers, spelled different. Flanagans are spelled different. They are both tight ends. So they signed the number one tight end recruit this cycle, and it's just going to come down to how explosive they can be. You know, Jordan Faison, Malachi Fields, Will Pauling, Mylan Graham, Quincy Porter. How good can the wide receiver room be? Because I think that is what is going to make Notre Dame electric. I don't think you need an elite running game with CJ Carr. I think it helps. I think Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price were great last year, but I kind of want to see CJ Carr throw it 35 times to some dudes that are getting open down the field. And I'm hoping that's what happens this year. And I think it's a possibility. And then defensively, it started rough last year. I think it got a lot better, and it does matter with who you played. But I did think it got a lot better. And they're going to be great. Like I said, second in returning production defensively. They were in a top 15 group defensively last year. My assumption will be they're going to be even better. Let's say top 7. So it's a playoff team to me. I think it could be a playoff team with a bye. If they go 11-1, 12-0. And outside of traveling to BYU in October, yeah, that's it. That's you play Miami and SMU at home. You get your 2 games at home at the end of the year in November, when your home field is the most advantage it can be. It is cold. Miami is from South Florida. SMU is from Texas. It should matter. They should be, at worst, top 5 in the country.
I don't want to talk. This is scary.
Okay, we can skip them.
I don't know. It's weird because I don't do you guys want to hear a fan perspective, or do you want to hear I don't know. It's just weird. There's a lot of questions. There's actually not a lot of questions that I have. There's actually one main question that I have, which I'll get into in a minute. If there has ever been a year where I would say this is a best chance to make, I'm not going to say win, to make the national championship, this team is light years better than the national championship appearance team from 2 years ago. I really don't think it's close.
By talent perspective.
Complete talent perspective.
Okay.
Because obviously the staff didn't really change that much, of course. But this has similar returning production numbers to that season, which is mainly the reason why I'm saying that. And obviously everybody's biggest question is about Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love. The run game has just as much to do with offensive line as it does the running backs themselves. They were generational talents.
Generational talent. Don't talk about Jadarian Price like that.
He's going to win the Rookie of the Year, and you're going to laugh, all right? Buddy, you chill out.
He's going to rush for 500 yards. He's not even running back 1. George Halani's out here starting. Don't give me generational.
But did you see the Willie Mays catch that he had the other day in training camp?
Brother.
I'm kidding. Stop.
Carried for 50. He had 50 carries on the season.
Jalen Milroe threw that ball, by the way. QB1.
That's all you got to know. They got nobody on the field. That's QB4 on their roster.
Here's the thing is, this offensive line is projected to be the exact same, if not maybe slightly better, with the addition of Jagusa, who is supposed to return maybe. I don't know if he is. Actually, that's a lie. I don't know. So he got hurt. Long story short, supposedly, from what I'm heard and people inside the program, they seem optimistic that he'll play at some point. I don't know how true that is. It's definitely not going to be week 1, but it's not. They've recruited offensive line really well. Always, it's just how that program is. The line is the engine, obviously, though, and you return the entire starting 5 while only losing a guy like Wagner, and the whole ordeal about 2,000 yards, it's out the door, whatever. Big freaking deal. I'm not really worried about Aeneas Williams. I think he's talented. He's not even near as good as those two guys were, obviously. Throw the ball. You don't bring in Quincy Porter and Mylan Graham and bring back Jordan Faison and Jaden Greathouse and not throw the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Like Denbrock has probably okay. I was getting ready to say something really stupid, but I'm going to refrain. Where do you put? Actually, I'll just ask you. Where do you rank this offensive roster compared to Denbrock's past rosters? Like when he was with JD and all those guys at LSU.
CJ Carr is the most complete passer
I would say most prolific, yeah.
Ever coached. But you could do more with Jaden and Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas.
I wasn't going to say it's the best, but it's pretty close to that kind of unit.
I think CJ Carr is a better quarterback than Jaden Daniels. But I said quarterback, not...
No, I know.
Not player, quarterback. But I think Neighbors and Brian Thomas clear...
Oh, yeah.
Your wide receiver room.
But just talking about the offensive line to the running back room, I'm pretty sure Logan Diggs is in there somewhere on that roster, I think. I don't even know who the RB1 was at that time. I'm blanking on it.
It was Logan Diggs. Probably.
Was it?
No, Diggs would have been at Ole Miss.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
It's
a close roster is what I'm getting at. Like, it's probably one of his most talented units.
Yeah.
That's basically the point that I was kind of getting at.
Yeah.
I was going to say the best, but I remembered.
Jaden lets you do so many different things that
he's so versatile. Yeah, he's just versatile. He's like a freaking
Carr,
X factor.
Carr, it's throw the ball, run the ball, like hand it off. It's
right.
It's not, let me take this 35 yards down the field, hit a couple spin moves, a stiff arm, and, waltz my way into the end zone.
There's just, for a season like this, I don't think there's an excuse. Like, bar none, I want to see this team make playoff semis. I don't think that's a really bad request, to be honest with you. Making a national championship might be a little bit of an ask, depending on the draw that they get. If they get a bye or if they're hosting again. You just don't get your biggest games until week 7 and week 10. Like, how could you not be, warmed up by then? Like, granted, Chris Ash was terrible the first, 3 weeks of the season last year. But you bring back all those players who have already have that continuity together. Like, there's nothing that you need to do.
Yeah, I think that helps this year.
A ton. Absolute ton. I think, you obviously have, one of the best secondaries in the country. Not the best. Again, they're one of the best. Linebacking core, I think they are very much so probably up there in terms of probably top 3 units, I would argue. Pass rush, TBD, maybe. They have the potential to be good. I just don't think they're going to be, really nationwide eye-popping. The offense just has potential to... Yeah, it was weird to see back in this team. I don't know if you know that story. He was committed to us first, flipped to Bama. Okay, I was going to say, that was a terrible recruiting trail. I'm very excited but part of like I'm also like just insanely frightened. Like honestly, I don't want to say I'm getting ahead of myself, but again, my only request is to see them in a playoff semifinal. There's a lot. I've seen a lot of Notre Dame natty tickets. Honestly, I've that's what's more concerning is the amount of favorites that I've seen, especially with the Heisman talk. I mean, there's so much pressure. I don't know.
It comes with being good.
In a way, it does, but it's like this is his 6th year. Freeman speaking, and like I don't really think that there's really much pressure on him, honestly, as much as there is the rest of the roster. Because he's all like his job security is gonna be locked for a long time, and nobody in the world. First of all, if you're a fan and you get upset at the fact of like 6,
like 5th or 6th. This is 5.
pretty sure it's a 6.
Pretty sure it's 5.
6 year on the staff because he was coordinator.
Yeah.
5th year coaching, yeah, head coach, yeah.
Head coach. Yeah. I would appreciate if he would stop losing 2 regular season games.
That's what I mean. Like I said, I'm not going to be upset about 11-1. I'm going to be really upset about a 10-2 though, because that BYU game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have anything else on it, but they know what to do. They're going to be a really good team. They just have to, I don't know. Penn State.
Oh. Dang.
Right?
It is. It would have been a really fun transition to do the other team though. But yeah, Penn State.
Penn State next episode. Never mind.
No, we'll do Penn State.
Oh, well, this is one of the bigger stories in college football, I guess, with a big question mark also. Penn State sits 17th in SP Plus in year 1 under Matt Campbell, which is pretty good. And I think this is like one of those jobs where kind of where you walk in and you're like, now what? Because after James Franklin, it's just kind of like getting hit with everything, and like how this fan base and how the college football world treated this guy, and you're inheriting all that now. Good freaking luck, dude. Good freaking luck. We've already talked about all that. There's no need to really talk about Franklin at all, whatever. Nonetheless, this fan base feels like they're due. I would say, honestly, they might pretty much be exactly where they left off, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. He had a very, very great career at Iowa State. Then again, great career means not necessarily playoff appearance, but they were ranked consistently most of the time. They had really prolific defenses. They had solid offenses, kind of old-fashioned in a way for Big 12 play, which was a little bit odd to see. But you pretty much take in the entire roster from Iowa State to Penn State, and this is one of their. Let me see. Last year. Or sorry, no, okay, never mind. I was reading Iowa State's numbers. Okay, disregard then. Sorry. Whenever this team has a lot of turnover, basically, we'll just kind of say with that. There's 7 of 35 people with 200 plus snaps that are coming back. 3 of those people were starters. That's it. It's pretty rough. Defense, I think, is probably going to be the strong suit of this team. I think they're going to. Honestly, they might have a little bit of a stronger defensive culture than they were with Franklin was there. Honestly, I don't think it's crazy to say at all. Offense, I feel like kind of might stay the same. Obviously, you get Rocco Beck there, you get Carson Hansen back there, Chase Sowell. Offensive line is pretty much the entire Iowa State offensive line. James Peoples from Ohio State's coming in, who is an interesting addition there as well. This is a very cupcake heavy non-conference schedule, obviously, with a decently matched conference schedule that is somewhat even in terms of like a pace, if you want to call it that. I don't even really know. I like where the conference games are placed, is what I'm trying to say. They're not, I don't think they really have one bad game here, then you go to here, then you go to here. I don't really think you're saying that. Like, I think they have a decent chance to gather a lot of momentum before all those conference challenges kind of creep in. So we can maybe have an idea of what this team looks like in the non-conference slate, just to probably see. Knowing Matt Campbell, he's probably going to want to know what his team looks like, for one, before he gets into that. So I feel like this team isn't going to hold back much at all for these first 5 weeks or whatever. I just don't want to see everybody overreacting and say this team looks really good. And then conference play comes around and you're like, what the crap? So
Yeah, they could start the year 6-0. Marshall, Temple, Buffalo, Wisconsin, Northwestern. Okay, they could start the season 5-0. Sorry. Yeah, they could start the season 5-0. This will be interesting because we've always known Campbell as doing a lot with a little. So, what does Campbell look like with a lot already? Not this year specifically, but in the years to come. I think it's very much a rebuilding, retooling year from a roster standpoint. I think their defense should be pretty good. I think DeAnton Lynn is a great pickup. He's one of the best defensive coordinators in the country. I think that really helps in building a scheme. Offensively, not super excited for this. I'm not a huge fan of Rocco Becht or Hansen. Chase Soule's cool. He's all right. I just think offensively, it's going to look kind of weird, and it's probably not going to be what they want it to be. I know a lot of people are super big on Penn State beat just because of the schedule, and I think there's a part of that where the schedule is really easy. You avoid Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana. Who else do they avoid? Yeah, you avoid the 3 big teams. So, a part of you wants to be like, well, hey, there's some progression. We're coming back. We're going back up to the mean. The 6-6 wasn't real. We're going back up, and your schedule is a part of who you are. Actually, no, sorry. The schedule is not a part of who you are. The schedule is what is in front of you week to week. Who you are as a team is completely separate of that schedule. You cannot look at a schedule and say, oh, well, the schedule is really hard. They're going to lose multiple games. It's not how it works. You then have to look at the team after that. It's why when we look at Ohio State or Texas, we say that schedule's hard. They probably will still go 10-2 because of how good they are. If you ask me right now, would I pick them to win USC at home, at Michigan, or at Washington, I would say no. So at best, we're 9-3. There's not a ton of talent on this team. It's Iowa State's team. They recruit a bunch of 3-stars. They've literally signed 8 4-stars in their career. In Matt Campbell's entire decade at Iowa State. So I'll give you 8. Maybe you lose those 3 and you drop one surprisingly. I'm not bought in on the Penn State challenging for Indianapolis train. I love Matt Campbell too, but there's just not offensively, the talent level is just not great.
Now again, I don't think they're competing for a Big Ten title this year. By no means am I saying that whatsoever. But I didn't take their win total, but for the price that it was at, I did take them to make the playoff because I think their defense can be good enough to get them there, for one. I do think one of these swing games does go their way. At least one.
You think a 10-2 Penn State with that schedule makes the playoff?
I think they do.
You're crazy. That's crazy.
I said it by my tongue, but for 4-1, I mean,
yeah. But Oregon, Ohio State, Indiana, Notre Dame, Texas Tech, Group of 5, Georgia, Texas. Throw another SEC team in there. Probably throw another SEC team in there. So we'll say 10. Then you have, I would argue, BYU. If they were 10-2, would be ranked.
I already said I have BYU in there because I have them winning the Big 12 anyways. But
okay, so you're at 11. I would argue you could name any SEC. Oh, I forgot the ACC champion, Miami. There you go. There's 12.
Your one SEC team is the one that I have pretty much swapped with Penn State.
Texas?
LSU, probably. Because you said after Texas, there was one more SEC team, probably.
I said 2 SEC teams after Texas. Georgia, Texas, 2 more. OU, LSU, Ole Miss.
I didn't put them.
Alabama.
I don't think they make it.
A 10-2 SEC team will be ranked ahead of Penn State. It's ESPN. We know that.
I'm sure.
No. I like the price, but no.
That's why I'm saying I like the price, of course.
No. I don't think they win 10 games.
I didn't.
Did Campbell ever win 10 games at Iowa State?
They were a top 15 team, so that's probably making him 9-3 at the best, maybe.
So we're asking Campbell to do something he's never done in a different conference.
I don't know. Maybe he's won 10. I don't know. Did he make a Big 12 title? No, they won the Big 12 title.
I don't think they ever won it.
I'm pretty sure they won.
They won 11 and 24. Well, they won 10 and 24. No, they won 9. They went 9-3, and then they won the Big 12, and then won the Pop-Tarts Bowl to get to 11. So he has never won double-digit games in the regular season in his career.
Saying if there's a schedule to do it on, it's this one where you don't have Indiana or Ohio State. It's doable.
Yes.
Honestly, I think it is doable. I think Michigan's a team to beat for one. Washington is just a flip coin. Everybody else, I mean, I don't know. Like, honestly.
You think they are traveling to Washington?
With that defense, yeah, probably.
And at Michigan?
I'm not a fan of Michigan at all. Yeah, no. That game's going to be really bad and really gross, but yeah, probably.
Oh, wait, maybe they did win. Oh, they did win double-digit game. They went 10-2. All right. So
what year was that?
24. They went 10-2, lost the Big 10. Or Big 12, sorry. Who won it 2 years ago? Am I tripping? Good Lord. Anyways, move on.
I think it's comfortable to say that they're probably like a top 4, top 5 team in the conference in terms of a conference record. Like, I think they finish ahead of Michigan. I think they finish ahead of Washington. I think they finish probably about the same, maybe tie with USC. Mainly because they win the tiebreaker if they beat USC at home, obviously. Let's see. I mean, yeah, there's nobody else in here.
You say that, but they lost to UCLA.
Completely
and
different.
Northwestern.
Completely different time of the year. They were dead.
What?
It's a different team.
Arizona State won it, duh. It's a completely different team, sure. I'm saying that with the talent level, this isn't Penn State last year. This isn't Penn State 2 years ago.
No,
They're not
yeah,
top 5 talent in the Big Ten right now.
no.
Is
I
what
was
I'm
like,
saying. I'm saying from a talent
I,
perspective, they are more on. I don't want to go there. Do I want to go there? They are closer to a Maryland, Minnesota talent level than they are to Michigan right now, this year.
and I would take Matt Campbell over Whittingham.
That's crazy.
I would.
That's crazy.
I would.
Not. How?
What did Whittingham do?
What did Whittingham do? I won the Pac-12 like 5 times.
Who else is in the Pac-12 to even do that at the time? Oregon was in the
Oregon,
gutter.
USC,
Oregon was in the gutter.
UCLA. This was in the 20 teens.
After Oregon's like 2014 run, they were dead, done. Washington had the one good year, obviously. The Bo Nix year is probably like the only other year that I would arguably talk about. Utah was a great team. I know we've already talked about that, obviously.
We're talking about an Iowa State team last year that lost to Cincinnati, Colorado, Arizona State with Jeff Sims, and BYU. You're asking me if Matt Campbell can lose to teams that are worse than him? Yeah. Yeah, he can.
Sure, everybody can.
Crazy statement. James Franklin's a better coach than Matt Campbell is.
Yeah, that's not close.
Yeah, so why are we saying they're going 10-2?
I agreed with that.
Whatever. Get me off of this. I'm going to have an aneurysm.
I think people are overlooking them is all I'm saying.
I don't think anyone's overlooking them. I've seen 19 them to win the Big Ten. Or over a win total.
I haven't seen any of that.
Tommy Wilson's on them.
To win the Big Ten?
Yep. Or make the Big Ten at least.
Maybe but win? Jeez, old Pete.
I don't even want to talk about these other teams anymore in the podcast.
We should have transitioned to this team after Notre Dame. Would have been funnier.
We're not even talking about them today.
You told me.
No. I did not. Next is Wisconsin, dude.
That's what I was getting at.
Oh, I thought we were talking about USC.
No.
That would have been funny.
I thought talking about Wisconsin was funny because that's who they play week 1.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The team Notre Dame's going to beat by 20. Woo!
Wisconsin spread looks pretty good. I don't know about you, but
coming from a Notre Dame fan, the spread looks good. Noted.
In Lambeau, dude. Hostile environment.
It will literally be 90% Notre Dame fans.
Probably it is. Yeah.
They honestly should just move it to South Bend.
Myself included. That would be such a fun game to go to. Talking about one of hottest seat in the Big Ten? Fickle?
No. Maybe.
No?
Maybe.
I would. Yeah.
Lincoln Riley's seat's pretty hot, I think.
I would probably. Yeah, but they're talking about firing Fickle more than they are Riley. Like they keep acting like they want to keep Riley, but I just don't know how believable that stuff
yeah,
is.
But I also would like look at the schedule that Wisconsin's played the past 2 years and be like, yeah, what did you expect?
That too. That's
Like when you like just before we talk about Wisconsin, which I mean I know it's not huge to get into. They played Miami of Ohio and won. Played Middle Tennessee and won. Played Alabama, lost. Played Maryland. Okay, you probably should win that game. They lost. Played Michigan, lost. Played Iowa, lost. Played Ohio State, lost. Played Oregon, lost. Played Washington and won.
You also played lost Indiana. Your starting quarterback really early.
Played Indiana, lost. Played Illinois, won. Lost to Minnesota. So, in all honesty, he did better than I thought he would. With that, I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, maybe.
They played, if you want to count Michigan and Iowa, who I would say were top 25 teams last year, they played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in 9 weeks.
Yeah. I don't. I
So
don't.
I'd say Lincoln Riley's more on the hot seat. I also think Fickle's
I,
like a good. I think he's a good coach.
screw that guy.
Fickle?
I'm from
what?
Cincinnati.
He led you to the playoff.
I don't care. That's BS.
Exactly. Just
That team sucked.
He has a quarterback we like. All right.
He does.
Colin Joseph.
He does.
Remember the name?
That he does. Also, still Iowa State's one of the better running backs. Abu Sama's coming. Nate Palmer's also coming in from TCU, which is huge. And let me see. There's a couple other things in here. Looks like he rebuilt the secondary. And as far as maybe a few guys on the D-line side, well, that's division. There's Division III guys.
Perfect.
Not
That's exactly what I want in year 4.
But you go, buddy. Yeah. Well, yeah. There's not really a whole lot here.
No.
Defensively, there's not really. They say that there's not really an issue with Fickle's defenses. Then again, I mean, their offenses have been like god awful, who have been the ones to pretty much put them in bad positions, I will say. So, benefit of the doubt. Then again, they've also lost their quarterbacks very early in the year. So, job number 1 for Colton Joseph, just stay healthy. And apparently, you might win 5 to 6 games. Like, I don't know where you're setting the bar at. Maybe bowl eligibility. Is that it? I don't know.
Oh, I've got a great take for you.
I genuinely, I don't know. That's like that. That was the worst year since 1990. Apparently, I did not know that.
Going 3-9 will do that to you. 4-8, sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't really say. I don't really know a whole lot about this team, to be honest with you, because hot seat coaches normally end up getting the boot. Like, I don't really think that there's really a point in buying stock, unless if you're about to. You're just kind of scaring me.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm buying stock.
Oh my God. You're nasty.
I'm buying Luke Fickle stock because Luke Fickle is going to have a better record than Matt Campbell will in this year. They don't play. They have the same schedule Penn State does. The exact same, except they play Notre Dame and Penn State doesn't. That's literally it. They play 6 of the 7 bottom teams in the Big Ten, and they don't play Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana. They are Notre Dame, Western Illinois, Eastern Michigan, at Penn State, Michigan State, bye, at UCLA, USC, at Iowa, Rutgers, at Maryland, at Purdue, Minnesota. They're going to beat Penn State in week 4. They'll lose to USC, Iowa, and Notre Dame, and maybe UCLA, and I'll give them 8-4. I like Colton Joseph. I also like Luke Fickle. He's obviously good at his job.
If you can score more than 17 points in a whole month, I'll say good. Gotta say go for it, because that's what they did last year.
I mean, that's what happens when it's your third QB. I don't know. Yeah, they were 135th in scoring offense. There are 136 teams in FBS. They averaged 12.8 points per game. Now, to be fair, played a very tough schedule, but yeah, it was bad. Defense was good. They were top 40 playing that schedule. That's impressive. If you get a schedule like this now, they might be top 20. I might back Wisconsin. Can I do a head-to-head?
I like their offensive line.
I need to find that.
I like their offensive line.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know. They clearly have a job this year. That's just to basically protect Colton Joseph. So, like, again, I just don't know what the expectation is, but it cannot be, I don't know, as...
Nebraska.
Sure. Nebraska, Northwestern.
Northwestern.
David Braun. Who's that guy? Apparently Jake doesn't know. 49th in SP Plus.
That is, it's the most Northwestern head coach I've ever heard.
Pat Fitzgerald isn't? Yes.
I knew who he was.
Let's see. Last year's team was the best team that they've had in apparently 5 years. They were 51st in SP Plus. They had a top 30 unit on defense and special teams. And great news is that they didn't play absolutely anybody.
What do you mean? They beat the corpse of Penn State and lost by 20 to Oregon.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you mean? They beat who they were supposed to. We could go with that.
They lost to Tulane. Football team or college football playoff team.
Sure.
Okay.
I definitely bet Northwestern in that game.
I know, because I bet Tulane.
Chip Kelly is coming in as the OC.
This is such a bad idea.
And he brought in one of the most prolific dual threat quarterbacks in the Big Ten.
No.
Aiden Childs. And defense comes back. They would get a lot of their main guys back. And oh yeah, they got the new stadium this year. That's going to be sick, right? That should mean more wins, maybe, hopefully.
Sure.
Northwestern has not seen top 80 as a unit since 2018. So this is a team who basically just needs to move the ball even a little bit, and you can pretty much be even or subpar with that ranking. I think if they improve it,
top 80.
I'm going to say if they improve it, maybe you can take a little bit of pressure off of that defense, but probably not. There's not a lot here, though. This team might be pretty bad. Like, I'm seeing maybe five wins, probably 6. I don't know. That's pretty bad.
Indiana, Penn State, Oregon, Iowa, Ohio State, Illinois, all losses.
Is that 6 or 7?
So. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 at Minnesota. Tough, but doable. Rutgers at
That's
Michigan
a pretty
State.
rough ceiling to put them at. I don't know.
I think 6 and 6 is probably the ceiling.
Maybe one big upset. That like usual one game that they don't expect to win, but they just do, kind of thing.
I would still cap it at 6 and 6 because then they would just lose a game they're not supposed to.
That's also true.
I would say 6. The offense has to get better, but defensively they're going to be good.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And they're replacing a lot. They're 50th in returning production.
I mean, they have to replace 8 linemen, 4 offensive linemen, and the entire defensive line.
Yeah.
And basically their one guy that they could have kept went to the portal. You have 0 4-star on the offensive line. Yeah, like this is going to be like the most non-Northwestern looking team that we've probably seen.
Aiden Childs just transferred to a worse version of Michigan State.
Like really bad.
Interesting.
So we came from Oregon State to Michigan. That's kind of like one of the worst like college careers I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's tough. Oh, I did mess this up. Oh, no, wait, I'm good. I'm tripping, bro. Maryland. Now we're done. Correct?
Oh, you're just not adding anything. Okay.
Oh, I talked enough, didn't I?
I don't know. I don't care.
I don't know. No. 6 and 6.
Fine.
That's all I got. I like the defense. I think the defense is going to be good. I don't like Chip Kelly and Aiden Childs together. I think that's horrible.
That's fine. That's fine. It's fine.
Bad QB, but he's better than Preston Stone. So maybe they do. Maybe they do win more games.
They might.
They might.
No.
Big Preston Stone guy.
No. Oh God, no. Oh God, no. All right, next team, Maryland, right?
Maryland.
Yeah.
Finish it
I'm
off.
about to convince all of you guys to go buy Maryland right now. Yup. You guys know who, I don't know. I mean, you guys might not even know. I don't know. Mike Locksley is in his 8th year, and somehow people still don't know who he is either. So it's fine, David Brown. You're not alone.
I know who that is.
Last year, this team was...
He's from the big bad SEC. Of course I know who he is.
This team was 4-0 last year. Did not win a single game the rest of the entire season. And that makes 3 consecutive years where they have not hit their win total. Late in the year...
Win total in 23.
Huh?
They won 8 games in 23. How'd they not hit it? That's crazy.
I thought it was 8.5 in 2023.
It might have been. I'm just saying that's crazy. Maryland at 8.5. Crazy.
Last year, I mean, a lot of the people in the Big Ten world thought that he was honestly going to be out at the late end of the year. I personally kind of like him still, to be honest. I'm sorry. Malik Washington comes back as quarterback, and he is actually had a decent, pretty good first year. Honestly, he was the team's second leading rusher as a dual threat. You have DeJuan Williams, who was at the helm of that last year as well. He coming back. Old Dominion guy comes in with Traquan Jones, and this team, I mean, they don't have a downhill guy. I think that's who Jones looks like he intends to be. Main concern is the receiver core. They lost their top 3 guys, but more Old Dominion transfers and a Wyoming transfer who are supposed to fill those shoes pretty easily. Tight end experience is bar none. They actually look really good. Offensive line only allowed 9 sacks last year. Good on them. Part of that's probably also because of Malik Washington evading, maybe. But maybe a little bit of a more prolific rushing attack this year on a better offensive line. And I think the defense is going to stay the same. But I mean, there's a little bit of returning talent on the defensive line that makes me kind of smile a little bit. But the linebacking core, sneaky good. Also secondary. So I think they might be a little bit more better on the edge as far as pass rush goes. Huh?
More better.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's a bad look. This total win. Do not take this win total now.
They're going to be more better this year.
You want to talk about maybe like 3-0 non-conference start? Potentially. Maybe 2-1 at the worst, obviously. Nah, I won't go 3-0. We'll go bold. Why not? Okay. Would you take in UCLA at home? Obviously, you have your only looks like a bad trip to Nebraska. Honestly, this is stupid. Like, there's a legitimate chance that we hit the win total before they go to Ohio State.
What is it, 5? 4.5?
4.5.
I mean, even if...
I got 4.5. This line is also now 5.5.
If you get 3 of the first 5, I'd say you look good.
But I still like 5.5.
I mean, yeah. If you get 3 in the first 5, you're losing to Ohio State, but you still get Rutgers, a bye, Illinois, at Purdue, Wisconsin at home, and then at USC and Penn State. Yeah. I think it's, 6 wins.
I mean, you're talking maybe Penn State, you're probably a home dog. USC is probably obviously going to be a dog.
At Ohio State.
Ohio State's going to be a dog.
And then I'd say they're a dog at Nebraska.
Probably small.
And Virginia Tech at home, probably a dog. But it'd be close. So dogs at 5. But I think every other game is...
But again, a swing game, I think you're fine.
Yeah, they're either a slight favorite or favorite.
Maybe looking at like maybe 2-3 road wins to kind of win it. But again, the defense, I think, is well experienced enough. And Malik Washington should improve a little bit more than last year, honestly. Might be a bowl team. They might be a bowl team. But, yeah, I mean, they're 53rd in SP+. They improved from 74th to 56 in SP Plus last year, and that was in Montecino's first year. So this is year 2 for him as well. It's hard to hope for a program that has experience with very slight, like a little bit of success. But I like the quarterback situation. He's in a better situation now than he was last year, obviously. They could be a top 40 defense, maybe, honestly. So, underrated team in my opinion, honestly.
Agreed. They're top 4 in returning production on defense, so top 4 in the country. So yeah, if you get up to even like 50 ish, the offense should improve.
Yeah.
I think Malik Washington's really fun to watch, and I think another year under his belt will help. So yeah, I think Maryland's gonna go bowling. I agree. 6-6.
How about that? Agreeing on a good note.
Let's end on an agree, which means they're going 3-9. Maryland people when Malik Washington gets hurt.
Oh, it could be bad. Yeah. No. We're cool. That's going to do it for part 1, though. Be sure to be open for part 2 or be available for part 2 when that comes, potentially within the next few days. TBD. We'll talk about the middle pack of this conference, which should be a fun one as well.
We're arguing.
It's going to be terrible. Do not. And then let's see. Obviously, next week we have SEC. Still a surprise coming. Should we announce that at some point? Nah.
No.
Nah. Yeah, we should.
No.
Yeah, we should. Okay. All
right.
Maybe a day before.
Maybe next pod.
Like a day before we'll talk about it. But yeah, excited. We're 1 weekend closer again. But yeah, nothing crazy. If you guys enjoyed today, like, follow, subscribe, leave a review, comment your Big Ten champ, your
Wisconsin.
If you agree. We'll see you guys next time.